Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Hip Hop Nation TV, South Africa. Man, I'm excited today, guys. Today we have one of the greatest artists, legend. Man, I'm so out of words. Uh, One of the dopest MCs from the Artifacts crew, Elder Sensei. OG,
Yeah. Peace.
welcome.
What up? What up? Peace, y'all.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm hot. It's hot as hell, but I'm good.
Yeah, man, it's such an honor to have you here,
Nah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
for sure. You're a difficult person to find.
Yeah, no-
Yeah, for sure.
but I'm glad
Uh,
I'm here. I'm always online all the time, but I know I'm always
yeah.
busy. I'm either in the studio or doing the show. So my apologies.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. I definitely understand. Yeah, it's really tough, but yeah, but it all happens at the right time, I guess.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
For sure. I mean, just for our viewers, man, please just tell us about yourself as Williams and growing up in New Jersey. How was that
Yeah,
like?
man. Yeah, me growing up for me, I was a adventurous kid. I was always into athletics, sports. And
Wow.
when I found b-boying, that was a whole different sport for me.
Yeah.
I like seeing these guys in New York on TV, but that's how I saw it. I saw b-boying on TV first, and on videos and in movies. And some of my friends, we tried to do it, and I got good
Wow.
at it. And that was my first introduction to being involved in hip hop. Besides listening to the music early when we had the breaks, Curtis Blow, Rapper's Delight,
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
like the normal things we grew up in. Far as my era, that's what
Yeah.
we heard. So once I became a b-boy, I made a name for myself in the neighborhood, battling everybody.
Yeah.
And then I got into the music a little bit more, started trying to write rhymes. I didn't sound like myself when I first started. I sounded like Big Daddy Kane or Rakim, because
Yeah.
that's what the blueprint,
True.
and at that time they were the best MCs. You had Coogee Rap, Chuck D, KRS-One. That's
Yeah.
my top five. That's my top five right there. But those were
Wow.
those were my teachers listening to the radio.
Wow.
So growing up, my story kind of sound like a lot of people that you might see in interviews and hear the same names, whether it be Ultramagnetic, Casanova Rudd, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of people are involved in my upbringing for us coming up.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting you mentioned those artists like Koji Rap and Big Daddy Kane. Like looking at the influence that Big Daddy Kane had on Jay Z, and then Koji Rap on Koji Rap and Rakim on Nas. Do you
Right, right,
think
right.
such guys they get the credit that they deserve?
Yeah, yeah. Especially in those times because
Yeah.
you could look at the back of Eric B and Rakim album cover and you see that picture
Yeah.
with Rakim and Eric B friends. These are all
Yeah.
guys in their neighborhood, but you see Coogee Rap with Rakim in that picture, just as much as
Yeah.
you see Jay Z hanging with Big Daddy Kane, where he was writing for Big Daddy Kane around that time when he
Yeah.
was around him. So
Yeah.
these are people that grew up with these guys in Queens. G Rap saw
True.
Nas grow up. He just like you see, a lot, like with KRS, we watched him
Yeah.
come up where you see all the different things. So D Nice birthed from him. So like we see what D Nice is at, but he comes from BDP. So all of this
Yeah.
stuff, people was around them. There was an influence, like you said. But can you imagine that G Rap rapping like the way he rap, but hanging with Rakim and Rakim sound like the way he do, and they just happen to be
Yeah.
friends? Crazy.
Wow. It's amazing. So I mean, with you starting with rapping, I mean that was a time like I'm sure you guys want picturing it like hip hop becoming this big. Um, what inspired you to start rapping? Did you start a
Uh,
solo, or was it the time? Was it when you met Tame One and Chaos?
no, I was doing it in when I was in school. You know, my junior
Yeah,
year was the
yeah,
year I let everybody know I rap, and I was on
yeah,
stage in my school, in my high school, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, you rap!" You know, but everybody knew I was a dancer, but nobody knew I could rap. So like, you know, when they saw that, it was over. But like I said, I went on stage looking like Big Daddy Kane. I went on stage sounding like him, sounding like Rakim. You know,
yeah,
so but that's what made me want to do it. Like listening to the radio made you brave. It
yeah,
made me want to be like these people that I listen to. You know, and but how can I do it in my own way? How can I do it like sound like me? You know, and not sound
yeah.
like them? Because that's if
True,
I can't sound like my influence. You know.
true, true.
I had to find myself. So I would say coming up, that was the hardest thing for me to figure
Yeah,
out like what style I wanted to use, you know, and knowing it couldn't be from somebody else. So, you know, I had a mixture of everybody. It's like a big robot. And then
yeah,
you make this robot and you try to make yourself use certain things they may do, but you still
yeah,
got to you still got to be yourself. So that's where I
yeah.
was at with it until I really actually found my own style to do what I wanted to do.
For sure, for sure, for sure. But do you think maybe that could be the problem with some of the artists within the mainstream side? Because like some people usually complain that most of the mainstream artists, they all sound the same. Do you think maybe they also have that identity crisis, and maybe
Well,
there isn't
yeah, see,
someone to
like
guide them?
back in the day, we just you just couldn't do that. You know,
Yeah,
it was a thing called biting. You can't bite.
yeah,
Don't bite
yeah,
my shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't
yeah,
like it's an insult and it's not original. So you know you wound up having
yeah,
to battle somebody. You know, and that's why it's so hard today with a lot of mainstream artists because all these guys look the same. They think that the formula that they're using is the formula to use. Period. Where
yeah,
what made our hip hop different from my era was you just couldn't sound like the next person. So everybody that came out sounded different from the next one. So there was no
yeah,
identity crisis. You know, leaders of the new school sound like leaders of the new school. You had people within their camp that
yeah,
say Rumpelstiltskins, and you think about Tribe Called Quest. Leaders
yeah,
are a product of them. So even though they don't come from the same places, it fits. You know, no different than how Native Tongue fit with all of them together. And you can
yeah,
add Beat Nuts and you can add Brand Nubian because it's like almost in the same vein. So
yeah,
yeah, today is different. You know, today is like these guys using the formula to make money, and
yeah,
you know they get the same look, tattoos all over their face, dreads,
yeah,
colorful dreads, and
yeah.
they just
True.
you know there's no management, there's no person telling to them to stop and don't do that. That's wrong. There's nobody to tell them
Yeah,
that. So they just, you know, there's a lot of like things happening now. And then, you know, it'll change, but
yeah,
when it changes, it comes with like maybe one or two groups a year. Maybe one art like the dude Jibs right now. Him, you know,
yeah,
it'll take a Kendrick, it'll take a J Cole, because this age range is where we at, you know. And when J Cole come with an album, everybody stop, everybody listen, just
true,
like Kendrick, just like Drake. So
true.
those are the only people that's different when you talk about giving something today what used to be like what we were doing back in the day.
Yeah. Well, when I look at like with your generation, right? Like I always wonder like how you guys were able to do it, because you have like you guys from New Jersey, and then you have others from like the Bronx, and then Queens,
Yeah, New
and
York. Yeah,
everyone, and you guys were like maybe each and every one of you from different coasts were like able to be in one song and be able to complement each other.
Right.
How are you guys able to do all of that?
Well, I mean, when you have guys that's on a song where musically, okay, how can I say this? All right, we are all fans of each other.
Yeah,
So when you listen to hip hop, when you listen to guys MCs that cater to you, it's
yeah,
easy to you pick which ones you know that bring that you like to listen to. So when
yeah,
if it's possible to do a song with them, you're picking them to do the thing that you like them to do on their song on your song.
yeah,
So it's easy to do a song with, say, a Pharaoh Monch for me because I'm excited to know that I know what he's gonna do on the song, and this is
yeah,
why we're doing it. Just like he know what I'm gonna do. It's
yeah,
a kinship, and with them we know what, we're fans of each other. So
yeah,
when you're doing songs like that, they come out dope because it's like everybody putting their superpowers on one song. So one guy might be good with metaphors, another guy might be good with flows, another guy might be good with like punchlines or whatever. So
yeah,
that's what makes the song really really good because everybody attributes come out. So when you pick songs to do with people and you pick the certain artists that you want, you only doing that because you like what they do. So you want to, do that on my shit. Like I want to see how it
yeah,
sound with me. So it
yeah,
is easy in that way. Sometimes it can be a challenge when you work with European cats. Because they might not
yeah,
speak rhyme. They might not rhyme in English
yeah,
sometimes. And
yeah,
it's and I tell them like, yo, rhyme in your language because you live here.
yeah,
I wish it would be easy for me to rhyme in their language too. But if people listen to, if they can speak English, they'll know what both of us are saying, and that's the
yeah,
challenge. But that's also what make it dope because you're giving somebody something to learn from too. Even if they
true that,
can't.
true that, true that, true that, true that. So with you starting, I mean, with artifacts, with you, Chaos, and Team One, how did you
Mhm.
guys start, and what inspired you to guys to start as a group?
Well, me, I'm like I said, it was the same for me and Tame. I was at my friend's house that my man Rhino. We was doing
Yeah,
demos. And I saw Tame's name on the wall so many times. I said, "Yo, he be here." He said, "Yeah, he rap
yeah,
too." So he let me hear some of his songs. And
yeah,
every time I came over there, Tame didn't come. But one time he came when I was there.
yeah,
Uh, Once we heard each other together, like no
yeah,
matter what, no matter what nobody else thought that we knew that might have whatever I was doing at the time by myself, whatever Tame was doing at the time by himself, all that shit
yeah,
stopped. And we just
yeah,
got right there. We got together and we just started making songs. We started doing shows. This is like 1988, 1989, and
wow,
we just started making demos. And what you got to also understand, everybody around us in New Jersey was getting record deals. So Redman and
yeah,
Naughty by Nature was already out. Lords of the Underground, YZ, my man Lakim Shabazz is my
yeah,
mentor. So all of these guys, was making records, and then me and Tame came later. So
yeah,
we pretty much, you know, got together because we was supposed to. It was kind of like destiny when we got together because he was
yeah,
living on a whole nother side of town from me, but we had the same
wow,
friend. So we just didn't know
yeah,
each other. So, Chaos, we got Chaos in the group later. But
yeah,
I've known Chaos. We knew him since 1990. And
yeah,
when Rock Raider did all the scratches for us,
yeah,
um, as far as on the first album, he was touring with us. And once Raider was going to do the DMC battle, we had to get another DJ, and that's when we called
yeah,
Chaos. And when I say we had to get a DJ, we didn't get to do all of that with Rock Raider, take pictures with him, because that wasn't our DJ. With Chaos,
yeah.
we had him in the artwork, in the cover, the back cover. You see him. So he was actually part of the group once we got him in.
Wow, wow, that's interesting. And I mean that time was like the late 80s and the 90s. I mean, that was like the glorious days of hip hop. Did you guys
Right.
ever feel like there was a lot of competition, because you got the NWAs, you got the Wu-Tangs and all these other guys coming in.
Nah, I mean, I'll tell you this. It wasn't so
Yeah,
much competition. It wasn't competition, but
yeah,
it was like for us, we were just trying to come out with the record.
yeah,
The same week we came out with our record, EPMD put out a record. Method Man, Redman, Biggie,
yeah.
like Keith Murray, you name it. Everybody was
The
record would come out
Illmatics.
every week. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like we put our record out. We didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't know what we were going to sell, anything. But the first couple of weeks, we did really, really well. And
yeah,
that's like to come out amongst all of those groups. And, every week is somebody heavyweight coming out. So we had to compete with that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
our record, it did. So that helped us a lot to put out the Wrong Side of the Tracks video first.
For sure, for sure. But so with the second album, how was it like? Did you ever feel like more pressure, as in having to do something better than the first?
Nah, we were just we started making the second album. We was just, doing it,
Yeah,
and we knew we didn't want it to sound like the first album. So having
yeah,
with Sean J. Period and VIC, like VIC, Vic, we did those songs with him first. Like those are the first
yeah,
two songs. The interview, uh, what, even though we didn't put that on the album, that was the first two. Those were the songs we did with him. And
yeah,
sometimes when I listen to what, and I wish we would have probably put that out. But the only reason why we didn't put it out because it had singing on it. At the time we was like, we can't be having no singing on the record. We graffiti guys and we underground hip
yeah,
hop. We can't
yeah,
have singing. So,
yeah,
but after a while over the years, everybody was saying how much they liked it. So, those we didn't, but we just didn't put it on the album. But like a lot of the songs we did with Sean J. Period, we did fast. We knew Sean. Sean was giving us that sound that what we needed, so it was easy to work with
yeah,
him. Um, Even like Finesse, Beat Miners, Baby Paul,
yeah,
like all of this stuff
yeah,
come from being fans of other records. So when you listen to Smith and Wesson album, you listen to
yeah.
Helter Skelter.
True.
That's why Baby Paul did a beat for us because we was fans of those records. B
Yeah,
miners, you listen to their beats, we like shit. We need some B miners magic too. So
yeah,
that's we made that album. Even though a lot of people might say it wasn't as good as the first one, it wasn't as bad
yeah.
as either. It was just I think it was kind of almost neck and neck. But I like the second album for us not doing something the same that we did the first time.
Word, word. That's dope. But between the two albums, would you be able to pick which one was your favorite and why?
Uh, I would say the first. Man, I feel different about both. It's like the first album
Yeah,
is untoppable because we did stuff there that we was doing when we was young, and we like
yeah,
things that we learned in our younger years, we
yeah,
put together on the first album. The second album, we was like, yo, okay, we're not gonna make the first album again. We're never gonna do that again. Like that's impossible.
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's go into the future kind of early. We did stuff early where our sound after we was done became raucous sound. You know what I'm saying? Brick City Kids was the first record Raucous put out ever.
yeah,
Like we was the first artist on Raucous to put out a record. But when I listened to their records and like later on, Sound Bombing, Sean J did a lot of records, did the Body Rock record, did the two
yeah,
records for Most Def, did the Children's Story. So he did joints on their albums, you know, where it was like similar to what we was doing because he worked with us too. So,
yeah,
I feel like the second album we just was ahead of our time, but I like that we did that because it set us up for later on too.
For sure, for sure. So with you going solo after, did you feel like it was a bit challenging than that because you
In the
started something
beginning,
different?
it was
Yeah,
challenging because you doing something by yourself now compared to when you were with a partner, and
yeah,
everybody was used to me being with a partner. So I didn't know how they would take on to it, but once I did that frontline record, and I did a few more records, I just got convinced. I was like, okay, I can do this. I just
yeah,
you got it was hard because you got to write more verses. It wasn't no one to pass the mic to. It wasn't like so it
yeah,
was a lot more work. But
yeah,
doing that, it made me understand what I had to do as far as my job and being solo and showing people what I can do on my own. So it became fun. It wasn't as hard. I started listening to how the songs were coming out and the producers I was working with. So I was like, okay, and actually the records were doing good. So I
dope,
wasn't I got brave fast.
dope, 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 dope. But I mean, with you guys being like the first generation, and now that we like, like this is now 50 years of hip hop.
Mm.
Do you guys feel like amongst you guys, US Artifacts and the Careless Ones and the Big Daddy Kanes and all of you guys, do you guys feel like hip hop has reached where you guys wanted it to be?
Well, you can say yeah because everybody's still working.
Yeah,
When you look at these shows and these concerts, and you see
yeah,
Melly Mel and you see Kumo D and you see Grandmaster
yeah,
Cass and
yeah,
I'm about to do a show tomorrow and Grand Wizard Theodore gonna be DJing. So like you
yeah,
still see these guys that started it. Like
yeah.
who would have thought that we'll be like even if it's 50 years, who would have thought that all of us will be mixing together? All
In
these
the
different
same
eras,
room, yeah,
yeah, and the same shows, same concerts. But it's like it just shows you how if you just stick to it, you know. Nobody thought
yeah,
hip hop would last even 20 years. We talking about 50. Hip
yeah,
hop is a whole grown person. That's like if he was a person, he'd be 50 years old with all these other rap guys. Like I,
exactly,
I grew up in it, but I'm as old as hip hop is. Like when you think about that, I'm
yeah,
I'm 50. I'm 52. 2 years ago, hip hop
yeah,
was 48. 2 years,
true,
50 as far as, but really 48 because we have 50 now. So it just
yeah,
shows you like how something started that wasn't supposed to really be nothing, just started in the streets and it went through some changes. It went through some things like all music do, but like jazz music, it
yeah,
just jazz keeps going. Rock and roll used to be the top music, and hip hop
true,
took that title until the last 2 years. Hip hop it wasn't this year was the first year hip hop wasn't the best selling music.
yeah,
But that's a long time to be on top.
yeah. What do you
So,
think could be the cause of that, of it not being the best selling for this year?
well, I mean, it's money. There's a lot of money driven in hip hop now that wasn't in it before.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everybody can eat. Everybody can eat from it. Whether if you're a producer, MC, you could be you don't have to necessarily rap to
yeah,
be in hip hop right now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you could be a host, you could be whatever. But for
yeah.
a lot of
So
the
so
things.
how do you think maybe oh my
Go,
bad, my
go,
bad.
go.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, I was just saying, how do you think young people can be able to balance that within like the love and the money? Because you guys were like when you guys started, you did it for the love, and also you guys were also like the first ones to benefit from it like monetarily. So like, how are
Right.
you guys able to balance that? Maybe the young artists um might be missing it.
Well, the only thing that I can say that the young people know about is about the money part and going on tour. They
Yeah,
understand that, and
yeah,
their way to making sales is different than how we have actual units being sold, where they have actual streams. And the
yeah.
streaming is different than units. You know what I mean? Like
True.
we trying to get but they making money with these streams, and it's thousands and millions of people downloading their songs. And I don't understand how this all. I understand, but is a different format where we at right now, different platform. But it
Yeah,
still should still be about the actual people going into a store, or knowing that they can go to an in-store and know the artist's going to be there, meet them. There's a lot of things different that they do that we don't do. We
yeah,
had to really promote. We had to really promote these records and promote and go to radio. There's no more radio stations to go to. There's no more program director to go to
yeah,
and meet, and no more record pools. They exist, but it's not like how it used to be. So the
yeah,
job effort is different for us. An older guy,
yeah,
it's harder to tell them to, they not so internet savvy to be into
yeah,
the social media world. They have to
yeah,
have somebody do it for them. And
yeah,
with the younger guys, we trying to tell them like, yo, you can do this, but you also have to touch the people. They see us
sure.
doing these shows, they see these 50-year celebrations, and they see all these
Yeah,
people in these shows, so they understand what's going on. When you look at all these verses that they had, they understood
yeah,
the more popular verses was KRS One and Big Daddy Kane, Locks and
yeah,
Dipset. These verses was the dope ones, because we was like, yeah,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, let's do,
yeah,
we want to see more of that, and I'm glad for verses to do that, because it exposed people to see stuff that they probably wouldn't have paid attention to before, when it's like,
yeah,
we already know it exists. So it was a treat to see that. So, the thing right now is people different. The way to promote all this stuff is different. So we adults, older cats, also gotta adapt to today.
true.
We can't do the same things we did back in the day today, and we have
Yeah,
to adapt. We have to adapt, and it's
yeah,
not hard. It's companies out here that you can pay to help you if
yeah,
you're not as internet savvy, and get your work. You can
yeah,
get the word out.
for sure. But can I put you on the spot? Um, if speaking of verses, if Team One and Chaos were here as artifacts, which group
Uh-huh.
would you have loved to go with, like on the
Well,
verses?
I always said there will be two groups,
Yeah,
and we know both of them very well.
yeah,
Because you got to think about 2-man group. Like, Dots Effects would have
yeah.
been good.
Oh,
Uh, but I would say, because we in a different era from them, I would tell you the
yeah,
best one. The best
yeah.
one would have been us and Smith and Wesson. Look
Somebody has to contact them.
at See, look,
I'd pay for that.
that would have been a good one. That would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one. Uh, maybe someone has to hook me up with Swiss Beats and
Yeah,
you
because we
know,
was talking about it. We were talking about it, like, just even doing a
yeah,
show, period. But like,
true.
that's the same. It's the same. 2 men. They had my man DJ Logic is the DJ. We
Yeah,
would, but it's two people, and it would have just been really Jersey and Brooklyn. Crazy.
yeah. That would have been so amazing. That would have been
Yeah,
so
that would
amazing.
have been
Because
fun.
I mean,
That would have been fun.
because I remember what you just said now with the Curious One and Big Daddy Kane and even the Log and the Dipset. That was just so amazing to see that consistency. As artists,
Yeah, and
and
KRS was like a big monster when he came in there doing all that shit. Like, Big Daddy King was cool
yeah,
as hell. Like, I'm gonna still do my
yeah.
thing, but KRS just came in there like Godzilla. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Make noise. I'm screaming at you, bro.
Yeah,
So
true,
it was good. It was, you always thought what that would be like.
for sure, for sure, for sure. But so as you mentioned, you said that you're performing tomorrow, right?
Yes.
All right, all right. Where's it gonna be?
Yep. All right. So yeah, tomorrow I'm doing is in Harlem, but it's East 125th Street.
Yeah.
It's gonna be myself,
Yeah.
Lost Professor gonna be
Oh.
is performing, and my man Al Scratch from Illinois Al Scratch, he's performing.
Yep.
Um, DJ Eclipse from the Rappers Out of Control radio show, he's gonna be DJing. My man
Yeah.
JS1 is DJing. Grand Wizard Theodore is gonna be some B boys, some B girls. Hopefully it don't
Yeah.
rain so much, but it's gonna be a big festival. Gonna have some graffiti writers, vendors, and some shows.
For sure. For sure. I'm hoping maybe someday you guys will come this side in South Africa.
Man, I'm trying to go. A lot of my friends have come out there.
Yeah.
I got a friend in Malawi. You know, he was
Yeah.
trying to help me, trying to get me out there. But look, I'm more than willing to
Yeah.
come if I can get out there. Trust me, I'll be the first one on the plane. I'll be the first one at the
Definitely,
doctor
because
getting my shots.
definitely, because I mean, Pharaoh was here a couple of years ago. Onyx was here. Who else was here? Talib. You
Where you
know,
at?
Keith Murray was there. I'm in Johannesburg.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
like
where everybody go. That's why I need to come.
yeah, definitely. You should come.
I tell you what, if you know some promoters out there, and let them know, let's put it together.
For sure, for sure, we'll definitely
Yeah.
organize it. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But are you planning on releasing any new stuff?
Oh yeah, yes. Got
Oh,
four albums about to come out. Four solo albums. Um,
oh,
one very soon. Me and Sadat X. We about to work on
yeah,
the new Double XL album.
yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff about to come. A lot of music.
definitely. I mean, I'm hoping that the
Now
flyers will send me.
I'll keep you posted on everything that's gonna come when everything happens,
Yeah,
and
man.
I'll send you the music too.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to. Okay. Oh yeah, I think Teflon John is here. What's up, Teflon? Um, I'm gonna try and hook you up with him because I mean he's got his own radio station and stuff.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure he'd love to interview you.
no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, trust
Mm,
me. Anybody you know,
for
I'll
sure,
that'll probably help me get out there.
definitely, Ochi. But yeah, man. So any more plans with more performances for this year besides the
Yeah,
50th
I got
anniversary tour?
tomorrow. Tomorrow I got a show in Brooklyn, August 18th, and then I got a show in
Mm,
California in LA with the Cali Agents, Planet Agent, and Rasco. So I'll be doing the
yeah,
show with them for the reunion show. So I'll be there.
for sure, for sure. Because
Yeah.
I've also been trying to reach them as well and the Smith and Wesson guys and stuff. But
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I'll pass the word on and let them know that you want to do something.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, OG, man, I appreciate it so much for
No
letting
doubt,
us
brother.
interview you.
Thank
I'm
you. Thank you
hoping
again.
we'll keep in touch more
Yes.
in
You got my info now, so we locked in.
for sure. Much love, OG.
All right, man.
Appreciate it
Thank you, brother.
for sure, for
Peace.
sure.
All right.
Peace. Yeah, guys, that's what's up. Another interview. Boo, 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 boo. Shout out to the OG, the Sensei. Yo, Teflon, John, man, thanks for watching, my brother. Shout out to everyone that's gonna be watching. Yo, guys, thank you for supporting Hip Hop Nation TV South Africa. My name is of course the Mighty Ecliptic. Yo, check out my music also. I'm on Instagram, Ecliptic. You can check us on Instagram, Hip Hop Nation TV, Facebook page, Hip Hop Nation TV, my other Facebook page, Ecliptic as well. So guys, yo, um, stay tuned for more interviews, guys. There's so many more interviews coming. But yeah, I can't determine yet the dates, guys, because so many of our artists have different time zones and stuff like that. So it becomes difficult for me to just give like a definite date too early. But yeah, there's so much more coming. There's so many more artists that we bring in, guys. international and also here at home. So yeah, I'm hoping we're gonna network as artists, guys. And hopefully we'll reach out to many more people. So guys, I appreciate y'all. Oh man, it's almost 2 a.m. my side. So peace. I'm out.